Hi guys, welcome back. Today we're stepping into the shadows, into a world of secrets, suspense, and stories that keep you second-guessing everything. These are the top 15 best thriller movies streaming right now on Netflix, Prime Video, Tubi, and Hulu. Each one packed with tension, unexpected turns, and that lingering feeling that nothing is quite what it seems. These films will pull you in and refuse to let go. So let's not waste any time and begin. Number 15, Neighborhood Watch. Directed by Duncan Skiles, Neighborhood Watch is a quietly intense crime thriller that blends small-town grit with psychological depth. The story follows Simon McNally, Jack Quaid, a young man recently released from psychiatric care who believes he witnessed a woman being abducted. When the police brush him off, he reluctantly teams up with his gruff neighbor Ed Dearman, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, a disgraced ex-security guard, to find the missing woman. Their investigation slowly reveals layers of tension and mistrust within the neighborhood, with the film prioritizing character interaction over jarring set pieces. Jack Quaid delivers a standout performance as Simon, portraying the fragile mixing of trauma and determination. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is equally compelling as Ed, whose past failures and stiff demeanor soften into surprising empathy as the duo's connection deepens. Their chemistry forms the emotional core of the film, bringing heart to the suspense. Quietly paced and subtly unsettling, Neighborhood Watch prefers emotional realism to slick thrills. Number 14. Echo Valley. Directed by Michael Pierce, Echo Valley is a quietly powerful thriller that evolves from family drama into suspenseful mystery with Hitchcockian undertones. The story follows Kate Garrett, Julianne Moore, a grieving mother running a struggling riding school, whose world is upended when her troubled daughter Claire, Sydney Sweeney, returns, frightened and covered in blood. As financial strain and hidden tensions surface, Kate must navigate a web of addiction, deception, and moral compromise. What begins as domestic drama unfolds into a suspenseful narrative where each choice carries unsettling consequences. Moore delivers a deeply affecting performance, portraying a woman's fierce determination and vulnerability as she confronts escalating threats. Sweeney matches her emotionally, bringing raw intensity to Claire's volatile presence. Domhnall Gleeson adds menace as a local antagonist, and Fiona Shaw provides emotional grounding, together creating a layered ensemble that heightens the film's tension. Visually composed and thematically rich, Echo Valley balances familial emotion with suspenseful pacing, though some critics note the tonal shifts feel uneven. Despite occasional leaps in logic, its emotionally grounded storytelling and strong lead performances make it a gripping watch about the lengths a mother will go to protect her child. Number 13. The Silent Hour. Directed by Brad Anderson, The Silent Hour is a tense, character-driven thriller that turns hearing impairment into a fresh narrative tool. The story follows Detective Frank Shaw, Joel Kinnaman, who lost much of his hearing in a line-of-duty injury and now works as an ASL interpreter. When he's assigned to help a deaf murder witness, Sandra Mae Frank, an ambush by corrupt officers traps them both inside the sliding doors of a condemned building. Cut off from communication and help, they must rely on each other to survive. Kinnaman is strong and layered, portraying Frank's frustration, resilience, and growing empathy. Sandra Mae Frank shines as Ava, conveying strength, vulnerability, and quiet heroism, her performance grounded not in fear, but in determination and mutual codependence. Mekhi Phifer's unpredictable threat adds edge, while Mark Strong's understated presence brings depth. With its minimalist sound design, slick handheld visuals, and lean runtime, The Silent Hour delivers a gripping cat-and-mouse scenario. Number 12. Wasp Network. Directed by Olivier Assayas, Wasp Network is a sprawling, globe-trotting spy thriller rooted in real-world politics and moral ambiguity. The story follows René Gonzalez, Edgar Ramirez, a Cuban pilot who unexpectedly defects to Miami, only to join a covert network of Cuban spies embedded in anti-Castro exile groups. As Renee's mission unfolds from rescued rafters to secret communications, the film alternates between personal stakes, his family in Cuba, played by Penelope Cruz, and wider historical events. It's a measured, politics-heavy narrative that focuses on infiltration over action, pressuring viewers to sort allegiances and sympathies, just as Renee must rest. Ramirez delivers a charismatic lead performance, and Cruz brings emotional weight as the wife left behind in Havana. Their quieter moments form the film's emotional core, grounded amidst a sea of bigger events. With a crisp visual style, international scope, and strong ensemble cast, Wasp Network is a thoughtful and gripping political thriller that rewards patient viewers. Number 11. Kate. Directed by Cedric Nicolas Troyan, Kate is a neon-drenched action thriller that blends high-octane fight sequences with a ticking clock intensity. The story centers on Kate, a highly trained operative who is fatally poisoned during a mission gone wrong. With only 24 hours to live, she launches into a ruthless quest to track down those responsible, leaving a trail of destruction through the criminal underworld. Along the way, she forms an unlikely bond with a teenage girl connected to her final target. Their dynamic adds emotional weight and humanity to the film's brutal core. Mary Elizabeth Winstead shines in the lead role, delivering a fierce, physical, and surprisingly layered performance. She fully commits to the role's brutal demands while also revealing Kate's vulnerability and desperation. Miku Martineau brings attitude and heart as Ani, her reluctant young companion, while Woody Harrelson adds gravitas as her mentor with murky intentions. With its pulsating soundtrack, slick cinematography, and relentless pace, Kate delivers a stylized revenge story that stands out in the assassin thriller genre. Number 10. Wrath of Man. Directed by Guy Ritchie, Wrath of Man is a dark, brooding thriller that marks a sharp return to the director's grittier roots. Unlike Ritchie's more stylized or quippy crime capers, this film takes a more serious, restrained approach, trading rapid-fire dialogue for intense atmosphere and calculated tension. The story follows a mysterious man known only as H, who joins an armored truck company that's recently been targeted by violent robbers. As H proves himself surprisingly skilled in high-stress situations, it becomes clear that he's not just another new hire, he has a personal mission. The film slowly peels back layers of his past, revealing a much deeper and more personal motive behind his cold, controlled demeanor. Jason Statham leads the film with steely focus and tightly coiled intensity, perfectly cast as a man holding back a storm of fury. This isn't the wisecracking action hero audiences may be used to. Statham plays H as a haunted, methodical figure. The supporting cast, including Holt McCallany, Jeffrey Donovan, and Josh Hartnett, helps round out the morally gray world the film operates in. It's brutal, stylish, and driven by a cold sense of justice, delivering an experience that's as gripping as it is ruthless. For fans of smart, slow-burning action, this is one of Ritchie's strongest and most disciplined efforts. Number 9. Victoria. Directed by Sebastian Schipper, Victoria is an audacious and exhilarating thriller that stands out for its breathtaking execution and emotional depth. The story centers on Victoria, a young Spanish woman who meets a group of Berlin locals outside a nightclub. What begins as a spontaneous, flirtatious encounter soon spirals into something far more dangerous and intense. As the night progresses, choices are made, loyalties are tested, and Victoria finds herself swept into a situation far beyond what she could have imagined. The story escalates with a natural, gripping momentum, all while keeping the audience tightly aligned with her perspective. Laia Costa delivers a phenomenal performance in the title role, carrying the entire film with vulnerability, charm, and a fierce emotional range. Her portrayal of Victoria is layered and real, making her decisions feel authentic, even as the stakes rise. The chemistry between Costa and the supporting cast, particularly Frederick Lau as Son, adds further depth and urgency to the unfolding events. With its unique one-shot format, high-stakes tension, and emotionally resonant core, Victoria is more than a cinematic experiment. It's a deeply human thriller. Number 8. The Crimes That Bind. Directed by Sebastian Schindel, The Crimes That Bind is a gripping Argentinian psychological thriller that masterfully blends family drama with courtroom suspense. The story centers on Alicia, a well-to-do woman in Buenos Aires whose son is on trial for a violent crime. As the case unfolds, Alicia begins to unravel disturbing truths about her son and the woman accusing him. Parallel to this, the film also follows their longtime housekeeper, adding another layer of complexity through a quiet but powerful subplot. The narrative builds tension through revelations rather than action, giving the film an emotional and psychological edge. Cecilia Roth delivers a deeply nuanced performance as Alicia, portraying a mother torn between loyalty and moral awakening. Her internal conflict is portrayed with heartbreaking subtlety. Miguel Ángel Solá and Sofía Gala also bring weight and conviction to their roles, enriching the film's emotional resonance and moral ambiguity. With its layered storytelling, slow-burning suspense, and strong performances, The Crimes That Bind is a smart, unsettling drama that leaves a lasting impression. Number 7. Copycat. Directed by John Emile, Copycat is a tense and stylish psychological thriller that explores the disturbing mind of a serial killer while diving into the psyche of those trying to stop him. The story follows Dr. Helen Hudson, a brilliant criminal psychologist and expert on serial killers, who becomes a recluse after surviving a traumatic attack. When a new killer emerges, one who mimics the crimes of infamous murderers from history, Helen is pulled back into the dark world she tried to leave behind. With the help of a determined detective, she must overcome her fears to unravel a chilling pattern before the killer strikes again. Sigourney Weaver delivers a powerful performance as Helen, portraying both the intellect and the vulnerability of a woman battling PTSD. Holly Hunter brings sharp focus and quiet strength as Detective MJ Monahan, forming a compelling on-screen duo. Their chemistry and contrast in character add depth to the investigative dynamics, while Dermot Mulroney and William McNamara round out the cast with solid support. Praised for its smart script, eerie tension, and psychological complexity, Copycat stands out among 90s thrillers for its cerebral approach and strong female leads. Number 6. Take Shelter. Directed by Jeff Nichols, Take Shelter is a haunting psychological thriller that blends emotional depth with apocalyptic unease. The story follows Curtis LaForche, a quiet, hardworking family man who begins experiencing terrifying visions of an approaching storm. As his nightmares intensify, Curtis becomes consumed with building a storm shelter in his backyard, convinced that something catastrophic is coming. His growing obsession starts to affect his job, his relationships, and his grip on reality, raising questions about whether he's losing his mind or if he's the only one who sees the truth. Michael Shannon gives a powerhouse performance as Curtis, portraying a man unraveling with remarkable subtlety and emotional depth. Jessica Chastain is equally strong as his wife Samantha, delivering a grounded and empathetic portrayal of a woman torn between love, concern, and fear for her family's future. Their chemistry anchors the film's emotional core. With its eerie atmosphere, slow-building tension, and heartfelt performances, Take Shelter is a chilling yet poignant exploration of fear, mental health, and the instinct to protect. Number 5. Straw. Directed by Tyler Perry, Straw gripping psychological thriller grounded in real-world desperation and emotional intensity. Departing from his usual style, Perry crafts a taut and character-driven drama that explores systemic pressure, survival, and the breaking point of a person who has nothing left to lose. The story centers on Janiyah Wilkinson, a hard-working single mother whose day spirals into crisis after a series of devastating setbacks. Struggling with eviction, job loss, and the growing weight of financial ruin, she finds herself backed into an impossible corner. What begins as a quiet tale of resilience evolves into a high-stakes confrontation that unfolds in real time, capturing the chaos, fear, and quiet determination of a woman pushed beyond her limits. Taraji P. Henson anchors the film with a stunning performance, portraying Jania with strength, vulnerability, and emotional nuance. Her portrayal feels deeply lived in, connecting the audience to every flicker of doubt and defiance in her character's arc. Sherry Shepherd adds depth as a conflicted bank manager caught in the middle, while Teyana Taylor offers a grounded, compassionate presence as a negotiator trying to defuse the crisis. It's a story about the breaking point, how far someone will go when every door is closed, and what remains when survival is the only option. Number 4. Exam. Directed by Stuart Hazeldine, Exam is a taut psychological thriller that transforms a single room into a pressure cooker of tension, paranoia, and moral ambiguity. The story unfolds in a high-security examination room where 8 candidates compete for a mysterious corporate job. The rules seem simple: 1 question, 1 answer, and no communication with the guard or leaving the room. But when the paper in front of them appears blank, the candidates are forced to turn on each other and themselves to uncover the true nature of the test. What starts as cooperation quickly turns into mind games and manipulation, blurring the line between ambition and cruelty. The ensemble cast, featuring Luke Mabley, Adar Beck, and Jimmy Mistry, delivers sharp, layered performances that capture the shifting power dynamics and psychological stress of the scenario. Each actor brings depth to characters defined by code names rather than backgrounds, allowing the tension to build purely through action and reaction. It's a lean, cerebral thriller that challenges not only its characters, but the audience itself to question how far we're willing to go when everything is on the line. Number 3. Locke. Directed by Stephen Knight, Locke is a minimalist yet emotionally intense drama thriller that unfolds entirely within the confines of a moving car. The story centers on Ivan Locke, a construction foreman who makes a life-altering drive from Birmingham to London. As he navigates the motorway at night, he juggles a flurry of phone calls that gradually reveal the personal and professional crisis he's facing. The stakes are high, not with physical action, but with emotional fallout, as Locke attempts to hold together everything that matters to him while his world unravels from the other end of the line. Tom Hardy delivers a masterclass in acting, holding the screen for the entire runtime with a performance that's quiet, internal, and incredibly human. Through nuanced facial expressions, vocal shifts, and controlled intensity, Hardy makes Locke's psychological struggle riveting, portraying a man trying to stay calm and rational while everything around him fractures. The supporting cast, heard only through phone calls, adds to the realism and tension, grounding the story in recognizable emotion. Sleek, focused, and deeply intimate, Locke is a powerful reminder that great thrillers don't need car chases or shootouts to be absorbing. Number 2. The Machinist. Directed by Brad Anderson, The Machinist is a haunting psychological thriller that delves into the human mind's capacity for self-destruction and paranoia. The story follows Trevor Resnick, an insomniac machinist whose inability to sleep has pushed him to the brink of madness. As his physical and mental health deteriorates, Trevor begins to experience bizarre occurrences, including strange figures and eerie messages. Desperate to understand what's happening to him, he spirals further into confusion, convinced that he's being followed by an unknown entity. His unraveling is both a mystery and a tragedy, as he's forced to confront the terrifying possibility that the truth may be more horrifying than he realizes. Christian Bale delivers an astonishing performance as Trevor, embodying the character's exhaustion and paranoia with remarkable depth and subtlety. His physical transformation, shedding pounds to portray the emaciated figure of Trevor, only adds to the disturbing realism of his portrayal. It's a masterclass in psychological torment, a film that challenges the viewer to question what's real, what's imagined, and how far the human mind can go before it breaks. Number 1. Memories of Murder. Directed by Bong Joon-ho, Memories of Murder is a gripping crime thriller that blends procedural intensity with atmospheric melancholy. Based on the real-life Hwaseong serial murders, Bong crafts a film that moves beyond genre tropes, focusing instead on the frustrating human limits of justice and truth. The story centers on two detectives, one local, one from the city, who are tasked with solving a series of brutal and seemingly random killings. Their investigation, riddled with dead ends, conflicting theories, and bureaucratic failures, becomes an obsessive, maddening pursuit. As leads dry up and pressure mounts, the line between seeking justice and losing control begins to blur. The film is less about a solution and more about the emotional toll of an unsolvable case. Song Kang-ho delivers a masterful performance as the provincial detective Park, infusing the role with both flawed bravado and deepening vulnerability. Kim Sang-cheon plays the analytical soul investigator Seo with restrained intensity, providing a powerful contrast. Their dynamic evolves from combative to tragic, mirroring the descent into a case that resists all logic. With its stark cinematography, nuanced character work, and haunting conclusion, Memories of Murder is more than a mystery. It's a meditation on futility, obsession, and the cost of unanswered questions. This is a film that lingers not because of what it reveals, but because of what it leaves behind.